Today on Dave Eats the World, we're going to be making Kimbap. Kimbap is a typical Korean dish which means seaweed rice, and is reminiscent of a Japanese sushi roll. While it may look like one, Kimbap doesn't contain any raw fish and has a flavor profile that is very distinct. Let's get started. Preparing the ingredients is probably the most labor-intensive part of this recipe. We're going to need the following. First, we're going to julienne a carrot, or in layman's terms, cut it into thin strips. Cut the carrot in half and slice a part off. This way, we have a stable bottom for the carrot so that it doesn't roll over while we slice it. As you can see, I'm slicing the carrots into thin sheets first, before slicing them up and stacking them into thin strips. Repeat until we've julienned the rest of our carrots. Usually, a type of Korean Kimbap ham is used for the protein, but I'm going to use Spam instead since this is what I have in my pantry. Cut it into strips as well, around half a centimeter thick. Next, we'll be beating up 2 whole eggs for our omelette and season with a bit of salt. Add a bit of oil to our pan and cook the ingredients on medium heat. Pour in the beaten eggs and cook it until the egg is set. Let it cool for a bit before moving it onto our chopping board and cutting it into strips. Re-oil our pan and sear the Spam until the sides are slightly brown and crunchy, flipping the Spam every minute or so. Put it on a plate and set it aside. Add in a bit more oil and cook the carrots for around 2 to 4 minutes until it is slightly tender, while maintaining a bit of crunch. Shaking the pan every so often so that the carrots cook evenly. Again, put it on a plate and set it aside. Now, onto our spinach. Bring a pot of water to a boil. Put in your spinach and let it cook for 1 minute. After 1 minute, take out your spinach and dunk it into a bowl of cold water. This will stop the spinach from further cooking and help the spinach maintain its vibrant green color. After our spinach has thoroughly cooled, squeeze out any remaining liquid from the spinach. Roughly chop it into smaller pieces. Put it in a bowl and season with a bit of salt to taste. Next, add in around half a tablespoon of sesame oil. Give it a mix until the spinach is well seasoned, and set it aside. In a mixing bowl, put in our cooked rice. Add in some salt, a tablespoon of sesame oil. Mix until it is well incorporated, and maybe add in another tablespoon of sesame oil since I put in too much rice. Here's an overview of the ingredients we have for our kimbap. We have our Spam, strips of egg, some spinach, some carrots, our seasoned rice, a pickled radish with some burdock root pack, and our seaweed sheets. Now that we have all our ingredients ready, it's time to assemble the kimbap. On a sushi mat, place your seaweed sheet shiny side down. Spread out your rice thinly up until 2/3 of the seaweed sheet. Place your tanmuji or pickled radish on the center of the rice, followed by the burdock root. Place 2 pieces of Spam on top of the tanmuji, followed by a couple of strips of egg, spinach, and carrots. Now for the part I'm dreading off. It's time to roll the kimbap. Roll the bottom edge of the kimbap to the part where the rice ends. Apply a bit of pressure on the map and shape the kimbap into a roll. Next, apply a bit of water on the remaining part of the seaweed. This will help the seaweed stick onto itself. Apply a bit more pressure, and we're done. All that's left is to spread some sesame oil on the outside of the kimbap and slice it into bite-sized pieces. And now, it's time to taste. This brings me back to when I first found out about the dish around 10 years ago. I thought that this was a pretty interesting tasting sushi, and I've never had anything quite like it. I don't know if it's just me, but I usually pair this with some Korean instant ramen, dipping it in the soup. It's been a while since I've rolled some kimbap, and I wasn't quite satisfied with how my first 2 rolls looked, so I decided to roll up a few more pieces, and I'd say it turned out pretty good. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. I'll see you on the next one.